Hi, this is Prashant Jinde. Welcome you all in third semester DTM. In this semester, you are about to learn 7 different subjects. These subjects are called as courses in a high scheme curriculum. Amongst these courses, I will be engaging you with a course named as a BFS. That is Basics of Fiber Science. In your screen you would able to see with the red box. This highlights the course detail. Example, abbreviation of this course is BFS. This course carries total 100 marks. Total 100 marks is distributed into a theory section because it does not carry any kind of a practicals. Theory marks is further distributed into ESE and PA. ESE carries 70 marks. ESE means the end semester examination, and it has a weightage of about 70 marks. And PA carries 30 marks. PA means progressive assessment. That is, it is combination of marks of a PST1, PST2 and micro projects. The next and important part is knowing your course syllabus and its content. This course syllabus can be downloaded from DKT's Diploma official website, and its link is provided on your screen. When you go to this link to download the semester 3rd syllabus, one should click on semester 3rd present under the I scheme under the textile manufacturing program. This is the screenshot of a website, and a red color circle mark is highlighting where you need to click to download the syllabus. Once downloaded, you will find it is in a PDF file. After opening the PDF file, you just scroll down to the course named as Basics of a Fiber Science, where you get details of syllabus, its content, micro project detail, marks distribution, hours allotted, etc. For your reference, this is the screenshot of a syllabus. Although this is not a complete syllabus, but it is a part of it. You can download the whole syllabus and go through the details of each part. For example, the COs, meaning course outcomes. What you will able to understand after completing of this course is suggested by the CO. There are total 6 different course outcome, and each course outcome is linked with each unit in the syllabus. Hence, the syllabus is having a total 6 units. Syllabus also covers the suggested micro projects. And definitely I am going to give you details of a micro project later on. But for now, you will get an idea what could be the micro project title may look like. Topic wise marks distribution. You can find this in your syllabus. As I earlier told you, in this course we will learn about total 6 units, and the name of those are in front of your screen. Each unit has a certain teaching hours allotted. Total hours required to complete the whole syllabus, that is total 6 units, we need at least 48 hours. Similar to the teaching hours, individual unit carries a certain marks based on their importance or a weightage. Total 70 marks distributed amongst 6 units. you will find the last column is of total marks allotted for each unit. Each unit has a certain topics and subtopics. As you see here in the last column, Unit 1 has 3 topics and several subtopics. Like substrate, fiber structure and polymers are the first, second and third topics respectively, whereas fibers, filaments, crystalline region, amorphous region, their importance, polymers, monomers, reaction type, etc. are the subtopics. Once you completely understand the topic and subtopic, you will able to answer the UOs, that is unit outcomes. In this syllabus, the middle column denotes the UOs. There are 4 UOs. These are in the form of questions, and you can able to answer those questions once you completely understand the topic and subtopics of Unit 1. Today we are about to start Unit 1. Let's get started with the Unit 1. The topic substrate. The textile substrate means the basic unit from which textile articles can be prepared. Example of textile substrates are textile fibers and textile filaments. Here in your screen you will be able to see the fibers. These fibers are referred as a substrate, and they are the basic building block of textile articles like fabric and garment. In a simple word, the fabric and garments are made out of fibers. Hence, fibers are substrate and garments are articles. To get more clarification, let's take an example of brick wall. Here, wall is prepared by assembling many bricks together. In this case, the substrate is brick and article is wall. In our textile terminology, fabric is an assembly of a fiber. So, fibers are referred as substrate and fabric is referred as an article. Without fiber, it is impossible to prepare a fabric or a garment. Fiber and their properties are very important as they decide the properties of a fabric and a garment. Example, if fabric made out of high strength fiber gives a longer service life, the shirt or the dress material made out of a high strength fiber lasts long compared to low strength fiber. So you can wear it for a few more years. Another example is fineness of a fiber. Finer the fiber, softer will be the feel of fabric. The point to say is that the property of a fiber is very important and that decides the properties of a fabric and garment. So, such an important fiber as far as a textile world is concerned. Fiber is a very important aspect of this textile world. Let's define this textile fiber. It is defined as one of the delicate hair portion of a tissue of plant or animal or other substance that are very smaller in a diameter in relation to their length. Although it seems like it is very complicated definition, but let's get divide this into a portion and understand what is mean by the fiber. There are two to three, four keywords. A hair portion of a plant or an animal, and second is nothing but a diameter. Their diameter is very small in relation to their length. Right, in this figure you will be able to see that these are the pictures of fibers, and you can see their length is very long compared to their diameter. Length is very long compared to their diameters. So diameter is very small and their length is very longer. right? The hair portion of a plant or animal. Let's understand what does it mean by hair portion of a plant and an animal. Fiber is extracted from the plant as well as animal that we are all aware of. Hairs of a sheep is referred as a wool fiber, and it is a hair portion of a sheep extracted from the animal. In cotton fiber, they are grown as seeds, similar like a hairs. And these hair portion of a seed is extracted from a cotton plant. So extracted hair portion, those are longer in a length compared to its diameter. Such an assembly or such a material is called as textile fiber. Generally, the length of a textile fiber is 200 to 300 times more than the diameter. Once we understand the diameter the fiber definition, let's understand another terminology, that is textile yarn. Okay, so just I'm going to rub it all those writings. Okay, and just now let's start understanding the definition of yarn. Most of the woven and knitted fabrics are weaved or knitted from the yarn that we all aware of, and yarn is an assembly of fibers. In this picture you can easily see the assembly of fibers, and those assemblies are twisted together, right? But before understanding its details, let's understand about the definition of yarn. It is an assembly of substantial length of a fiber or filament with a relatively smaller cross section, with or without twist. Now, just by listening, the definition seems to be complicated, but let's divide this definition into some portion and understand its meaning. From this image you will identify that this is an assembly of a fiber to a substantial length with twist, right? And this assembly is having a smaller diameter, or you can say a smaller cross section, right, relative to its length. That means its length is much longer compared to its diameter, as like in the definition of fiber. But this yarn is made out of fibers, so the fibers are assembled together, they are compiled together, right? They are consolidated together and slightly twisted, so the structure is created. The structure is called as yarn. After understanding the definition of fibers and yarns, let's talk about the essential and desirable properties of the fiber. When fiber is converted from fiber stage to a yarn and then fabric and ultimately to a garment stage, fiber must possess certain properties without which it is impossible to prepare up to a garment stage. So let's take an example of a human hair, right? They are also called as a fiber, but they are not a textile grade fibers. What is the difference between the human hair and other textile grade fibers? The difference is in properties. The textile fibers has a certain essential and desirable properties that human hair does not. Human hair lacks the cohesivity. It is one of the important property of the textile fiber. Due to the lack of cohesivity, human hairs cannot bind together, so they cannot be held in the twisted form, and they easily slipped over each other and cannot be able to assemble properly. So human hair is a very bad hair fibers as far as textile yarn is concerned. We cannot make a yarn out of human hairs because they lack cohesivity. Cohesivity is one of the essential property. So like cohesivity, there are several essential properties and several desirable properties fiber must have. Then and then only we call this fiber as a textile grade fiber. To fulfill the requirement of conversion from fiber stage to a garment stage, fiber must possess some properties. Which are those? Those are essential properties, and second one is desirable properties. Essential property, as its name suggested, fiber must have those properties, and desirable properties are those are less important properties than essential, but yes, if they present, these properties will add the value. Fibers are subjected to several treatments during the manufacturing from its fiber stage to a garment stage. What are those different treatments? Sometimes we compress the fiber, we twist the fibers, we treat with the alkali and acid chemicals, we just subject the fibers to a high temperature, high pressure, sometimes laundering, rubbing, all those treatments fiber must withstand and sustain also. And to sustain and withstand those treatments, fiber must have essential properties. So as name suggested, essential means must have properties, and desirable means they add the values to the final product. Desirable properties are less important relatively to essential properties, but any fiber possesses these desirable properties, it adds the value. So let's understand what are the essential and what are the desirable properties of textile fiber. So let's understand the essential property first. Length. Length is one of the important property or the quality of a fiber which determines the usefulness of textile fiber. That means fiber must possess a sufficient amount of length to be used as a textile fiber. For example, if a fiber possesses 2 mm length, then it is not useful for a textile purpose. Fiber should not be less than 5 mm, and fiber length should be at least 100 times its own diameter. Length of a fiber is generally measured in terms of millimeter. Second essential property is strength. It is fiber's resistance capacity to break. To sustain all kind of mechanical rupturing forces like tearing, abrasion, torsion, bending, fiber must have a sufficient amount of strength to sustain all those forces. Strength of a fiber is measured in gram per tex. This is the unit of strength. Apart from these two, third important property is elasticity. If force is applied on both sides of a fiber, like shown in the GIF file, that a person is stretching the fiber, that is, he applies the force from both ends of a fiber. If force is applied on a fiber, it deforms and recovers from the deformation to its original state when force is removed is called as elasticity. Fiber must possess the elasticity to recover the original dimensions of an article. Now, to give in this perspective, I like to give an example. When you bend your hand, right, the fabric covering the elbow area is also stretches, and when again you straighten your arms, stretched elbow portion must recover to its original length. If not, what will happen? Sagging will be the result. To avoid the change in dimensions of article, fiber must possess elasticity. Elasticity generally measured in terms of a percentage. Next important or essential property is uniformity. Uniform size and shape of textile fiber gives a uniform product. Generally, the natural fiber has a lot of variation in diameter across the length, but the synthetic fibers can have more uniformity. So the articles or garment or any kind of a fabric made out of synthetic fiber is more uniform in nature. Apart from uniformity, next property fiber must possess is cohesivity. Because of this property, fiber holds together. And textile fiber has a surface texture that binds the fibers together. In general, in short, cohesivity is nothing but stickiness. Fiber sticks together, and this stickiness is generally acquired by the fiber because of its textured surface. Next important property is pliability. Pliability is nothing but its ability to ply. And when fiber is become pliable, when it is become flexible. In another word, you can say it's flexibility. If a fiber is flexible, it can twist around easily and can be a part of assembly. Now you can see these are the two properties, cohesivity and pliability. Cohesivity is nothing but stickiness, whereas pliability is nothing but flexibility. Because of these two properties, fiber sticks together, bind together, they hold together, and when we apply a small twist, they twisted together, and as a result they forms a yarn. So these are the essential properties. These are the 6 essential properties: fiber length, strength, elasticity, uniformity, cohesivity, and pliability. Apart from these essential properties, if fiber possesses desirable properties, as I told you, they enhances its value, enhances the article's value. Number 1 desirable property is luster or luster. Sometimes high luster is pronounced and pleasing. It enhances the value of textile article. Sometimes it is necessary, like a silky fabric. Silk fabric has its own luster. Because of it gets a value addition, right? Generally, this luster is a directional reflection of light due to the fiber's cross section. Desirable property number 2, resiliency. Fiber is considered as a resilient if it tends to recover its shape and size when compressive force is removed. As shown in this figure, a person is applying a compressive force, fibers are compressed, and they recover their shape and size when compressive force is removed. Wool fiber is more resilient, for example. Next desirable property is durability. Durability is not only the strength, but it is its ability to resist the physical, chemical, and bacterial attack, and yet provide useful service for longer duration. Next desirable property is fineness. It is measure of both size in terms of diameter and linear density. Finer the fiber, softer will be the handle. When I say it's fine, it's nothing but its diameter is smaller. Smaller diameter fibers, if a fabric is made out of these small diameter fibers, then the handle or feel of the fabric become more softer. Along with the softness, this fineness also provides additional strength. Fineness is measured in terms of microgram per inch, generally known as micronair value. The last desirable property is cost effectiveness. This is very important. Considering all essential and desirable properties, fiber must be available at fair price when it needed. Now, if someone gives you excellent essential and desirable property but with a high cost, would you be able to afford it? So that fiber must be at a reasonable price. So these are the desirable properties. 5 desirable properties, 6 essential properties.